Here with us, Mr. Anupam Srivastava, who is the CMD designate for BSNL, and he is attending the 4G World India conference. He was the keynote speaker and gave some really great insights over the 4G rollouts and the kind of initiative the company is taking. Sir, just wanted to understand with a lot of talks are being going on with the BSNL MTNL merger and the way to make it is a very profitable venture. And how are you seeing the development, and how do you address the kind of challenges and roadblocks which are coming to your way?
Well, if you look at it, MTNL and BSNL, they were one company in the beginning itself. MTNL was carved out in Bombay and Delhi, and BSNL was in the rest of the country. And over the years, we found that rather than helping this division, it is causing a little bit of a problem, because when it was only plain vanilla landline services, it was all right. But now we are into the age of mobile services. We are into the age of enterprise business. So when you talk about these services, naturally, if you don't have a pan-India presence, it really causes a problem. With that in mind, government also realized that now is the time that both the companies should merge together and synergize with the operations they have in their different regions, especially mobile services. Like BSNL has the mobile services in the rest of the country, MTNL has in Bombay and Delhi, but whenever BSNL's customer come to Bombay and Delhi, they face different kind of problem. In MTNL, because of certain reasons, they couldn't invest sufficiently into the mobile segment. With the result, MTNL's mobile network was maybe from the BSNL's perspective not as good as it is supposed to be. So then we thought that if this synergy takes place and BSNL and MTNL merge together, the mobile service could unite, and we can have the common features, we can have the common investments into the mobile segment, and thereby improve the quality of service, not only for the MTNL mobile customers, but also for the BSNL customers who eventually roam into Bombay and Delhi and over the MTNL mobile network. The second was the aspect of enterprise business, because the moment you talk about this business, it requires a pan-India presence. You cannot have enterprise business in patches or in the small localities. Companies are situated countrywide, their headquarters are in Bombay and Delhi. So by this synergy between MTNL and BSNL, and by merging these companies together, the enterprise business in both MTNL and BSNL will probably rise. The roadblocks, as you mentioned, there are certain segments in both the organization, especially the unions. They have certain apprehension, and their apprehensions are also quite right, because both the companies are separate, but MTNL is listed and BSNL is not listed. That's one thing. Secondly, if you look at the debt structure, MTNL is heavily debt-ridden organization at this point of time. Unions or the staff associations, they feel when this merger takes place, this aspect should be specially taken care of. It should not happen that the merged entity takes the burden of MTNL's debt, and therefore immediately after the merger it goes into the path of, it becomes sick again. So with that, those issues needs to be addressed, and probably government is sincerely looking into those issues.
Right. So as a CEO, what do you see? What kind of leadership style would you like to adopt to resolve all these issues by taking care of interest of all the management as well as the employees who are of both the organization? There must be, like you said, a lot of misunderstanding might occur as well.
Well, if you look at BSNL is having a huge manpower asset. We still call that manpower is an asset. Although the 2.4 lakhs employees that we have burdens up with the salary bill to the tune of say 13 to 14,000 crores of rupees on annual basis, which is almost like 55% of our top line. It goes towards meeting the salary requirements of the employees that we have. Yet we find that this group, which is asset for the BSNL, if can probably be motivated and we can talk to them, and the gap of communication is removed, and we also start feeling as they feel, they start feeling as we feel, I think BSNL can progress like anything. There are the industry requirements which BSNL are supposed to meet, and there are the aspiration of the people which we are supposed to meet. And both will have to be synergized together, both have to be brought to a common platform. People should understand, our combined consciousness of BSNL now should understand that the path for the progress is path of the industry which they have taken up. And once that thought comes, which we believe that it is possible to achieve it with the cooperation and with the dialogues with the people, manpower assets that we have, I think that we are in for a good time now.
Great, sir. I'm sure you will. And how do you see, I mean, you talked about the 4G and the kind of ecosystem which needs to be nurtured properly, data growth as well. So how do you see the Indian market? Because experts are still saying the market is not ready, and we need a lot of collaborative efforts to ensure that the market should reach to a certain point where industry could expect profits. So how do you see that? What needs to be nurtured to ensure that vision should be adopted in a very quick way?
Yeah, I think that's what we discussed in this morning session, that 4G is there or it is not there. So, and what steps we are supposed to take so that we eventually go towards the 4G LTE technology and give the country the kind of broadband speeds which the world is giving to their people. To my mind, I think the basic step here is, again as I am telling, is cooperation between the different operators that we have, the regulatory framework that supports the cooperation. So that is probably the prime, or would be a catalyst if we quickly want to move to mobile broadband through 4G and LTE technology. Because as you know that 4G and LTE technology is heavily capital intensive. The spectrum cost is huge. For one company to succeed and recover that cost, the capital cost and the spectrum cost, is very difficult. And the people who are having the 4G license, you must have seen that they are also going company to company, and they are trying to have the cooperation with the company. They are trying to have the sharing of the infrastructure, sharing of the resources. I think the sharing, the cooperation is the key word if you want to succeed for the 4G.
Okay, just one last question, sir. You talked about the enterprise business. If you could just give an overview of how do you want to compete with some of the vendors and the other telecom operator who are in the business for last few years.
Yeah, first thing, as I told you, synergy with MTNL is prime. If we have to do enterprise business properly, we have to be present in all the nooks and corners of the company, especially in Bombay and Delhi. So that's the first step which we have already taken. Apart from that, I will put it, some of the legacy mindset will have to be done away with. Because right now when we go to the enterprise segment, we probably go with the similar old legacy mindset that we have and offer certain rates or certain tariffs or certain services to enterprise segment and enterprise industries. That probably doesn't succeed. We have to also adopt the sales that is done by the private operators, and we have to compete with them, and that we have already started. We have told to the industry that whatever the private operators offer, whatever tariff the private operator offers, whatever SLA the private operator offers, we can match that.
Okay, okay. So this is, I mean, you're going to compete in a very stiff way.
Absolutely. The competition has to be there. Cooperation has to be there. At the same time, when we go to the customer, the competition will definitely.
Like we discussed last time, you would be going to all the private enterprise players as well.
Absolutely. I mean, although government sector is our focus, but the business is there in the private sector also. And huge amount of, we cannot miss out on that business part.
Okay, okay. And what is the kind of growth which you plan to achieve, the enterprise business?
Well, enterprise business at this point of time it is at a very nascent stage, I would put it. It contributes only a very small percentage of our top line. And we are looking at the possibility where enterprise business will contribute as much as 25% of our top.
Great, sir. Thank you talking to us, sir.
Thank you.